So you might have seen an old video that I did like this one right here, and it was all about 21WS. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a key card you need to open a special room on Interchange, and it's got a bunch of loot in it. Well, Tarkov's changed a little bit, right? Loot isn't as good as it used to be in a lot of locked rooms. So today I wanted to update that video by doing a new one and seeing what was in those rooms. Now, in my old video, I only did 10 runs and then I quit. And then also, I only sold it to dealers, so you know the least amount that you would get. In this video, it's going to be a little different. In this video, I'm going to use a whole key card, which is 15 uses. I'm going to give you the dealer's price and the flea market price by just somewhere something's going to pop up here, and it'll show you. So in green, I have the dealer's price. In red, I've got the flea market price. We're going to compare the two. And at the end, we're going to average it all out. We're going to compare it to the old video. And you know what? I think we're going to find out some interesting things about 21WS because it used to be my favorite locked room in Tarkov. But let's go look. I do want to give you guys a little heads up though that these flea market prices are always fluctuating. So, you know, the price of say run number 1 might be this much right now, but you know, 6 months from now, it could be more because we're in a different place in the wipe. Right now, we're in late wipe, so things have pretty much settled to where they're going to be on the flea market. And I think this is the lowest you can expect on the flea market, to be honest. Early, it's going to go way up, but right now, with the prices the way they are, I think they're settled pretty good. Now, if you don't know where 21WS is, you can watch the old video. I explain it really in depth, but just to give you an idea, it's on Interchange. It's next to Idea in this parking lot area. And you need a key card, which only has 15 uses. It's above where the shipping container is. And guess what? We're going to loot this area, like I said, 15 times, which is the same amount of uses a whole key card has. Now, I'm just going to show you screenshots from every single run and not show you me looting because who wants to watch that? So run number 1, here we go. We actually made out with 218,500 rubles for the flea market. For the dealers, it was quite a bit less. I'm not going to lie to you. It was 107,000. Let's call it 108,000 pretty much. So run number 2 definitely wasn't as good as the previous run, but I will say this. The thing I learned about doing this so many times and adding everything up and seeing what it sells on the flea market was that as much as we think like, oh, that's a useless item or that doesn't sell probably for much on the flea market, it actually really does. Knowledge in this kind of stuff actually really opens up your eyes. I know it did for me, that some little throwaway item that you would never pick up because you don't think it's really worth anything because A, you probably never use it, or B, you don't remember ever having to need it, say for a gunsmith or a quest or anything. There's a lot of these little parts that traders just don't sell, or they're high tier even though that they're say somewhat useless. Maybe, you know, mechanic level 4 sells them and you never use a pistol or something, but you know, this piece is for a Glock. It really does sell for a lot on the flea market. I was shocked at some of these items when I was looking them up on the flea market at how much they actually went for. Now, this one wasn't really that case, but if just looking at this, I still came away with quite a bit of money. On the flea market, I was able to sell everything for 147,000 rubles, and to the traders I would have gotten 80,430 rubles. Nothing super fancy for sure, but just hitting one room, not too bad. This was easily one of the best runs in all the 21WSs that I did here, and it's not even that much money, to be honest, for what we got in this whole backpack. And that's because things like the Lion are just not selling for much on the flea market at the moment, but you still did get a lot from this one run. We still got quite a bit. We ended up with 366,900 rubles on the flea market, and to the trader, still again quite a bit, 245,849,000 rubles. Great run, but don't expect them all to be like this, I'll say that. This is the second run in a row we were able to get a trooper, and that's good cash on the flea market right there. And including all these bits and bobs, we did actually quite well. So on the flea market, we were able to sell for 294,900 rubles. And to the traders, we were able to sell for 134,653 rubles. You know, this is a good amount of cash still just for hitting one location. Now, I wouldn't have kept everything, but I would have kept a good chunk of this. Thank God we found M61 on this run, or it wouldn't have been definitely as good. And I do want to say I did make a couple of fumbles here and there when I did do these runs. Sometimes I wouldn't unload some of these magazines, and it could have actually changed the price a good chunk, but nothing crazy, I don't think. But it's still like, if I was doing some sort of like college paper on this, yeah, this would have been a flaw and I'm screwed. But for the most part, I think I'm still in the right ballpark. You know, I did my best. 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 But in the end, this run still netted us 219,300 rubles on the flea market. And to the trader, we only got 35,605 rubles. It just shows you how different it can be from trader to flea market. It's crazy the price difference it can be. But again, it doesn't look that good on paper, but actually wasn't that bad. This one does look bad on paper, and it is bad when you sell everything. I have to tell you, this one was terrible. So on the flea market, we were still able to get 160,900 rubles. To the trader, only 91,789 rubles. This run was bad. Yeah, it was bad. I feel like we're just at a downfall because this one, again, really, eh. So we were able to get 144,500 rubles on the flea market for this. And to the trader, we were able to get 45,119 rubles. Yeah, bad. Again, bad. We were able to get a lot of stuff in this one, but still nothing really worth a lot of value. We got 153,300 rubles for the flea market, and for the trader, 41,152 rubles. It is downhill, I guess. I don't know. This is downhill. I don't really remember all these runs, so I'm getting actually refreshed as we go on. Back to a banger run, thank the Lord. So with this run, lots of good stuff. We were able to get 320,800 rubles on the flea market. To the trader, though, 102,888 rubles. The difference between flea market and trader, I'm just always so shocked by, right? It's so crazy, to be honest. This is one of those runs where a lot of those little items that you don't think are worth a lot are actually worth a lot on the flea market, because for these items, we were able to get 209,100 rubles off the flea market, but to the traders, only 61,323 rubles. So this one was solid, I would say. On this run here, I want you to know that I did find the MPX in here, so it is being included with everything in the backpack. On the flea market, we were able to get 249,360 rubles, but to the trader, 121,184 rubles. Great run. I thought I was going to get a little more than what I did get, but I'm still very happy. Nothing super fancy about this run here. On the flea market, we were able to get 158,200 rubles for it, and to the trader, 81,754. Nothing super fancy about this run in the least. On this run, it was cool that we were able to get an HK, but they're really not worth much on the flea market, to be quite honest. So the flea, we were able to get 189,300 rubles, but to the trader, only 49,122 rubles. God, that trader amount really does hurt, eh? On this one, we were able to get a lot of stuff, but nothing too crazy in the way of money. But again, still solid six figures, I would say. On the flea market, this would fetch 180,300 rubles. And to the trader, only 91,093 rubles. Still solid six figures, guys. That's the positive. It's still a solid six figures. Now, this is my last run here. So this is run number 15. After this, my key card's gone. I'm done with it. And I do want to let you know that I have a lot of interesting figures still to talk about after this run, because we can take, you know, what we made on the flea market and all on the trader and compare it to even my old video and stuff like that. I have some really interesting figures, so keep watching here. But on the flea market, we were able to get 182,500 rubles, and on the trader, 86,429 rubles. And I do want to let you know the gold chains that are in my pockets came from this run. Now that we finished all 15 runs, so a full keycard's worth, we actually have some really cool stats that we can talk about. And I know it's only 15 runs, it's a full keycard's worth, so these aren't like super base facts, but it's still kind of cool, and we can look into the numbers a little bit together. I do want to let you know that the past 7 days, the 21WS key has been on average, hold on, let me look, 217,313 rubles. So nothing crazy expensive because it is such, we're so in the late wipe right now. So it is fairly cheap on the flea market. And I do also want to let you know that with Intelligence Center 2, if you only have one charge left on this key card, it's still super valuable. You can use this and a couple of other items, and you can craft an 11 SR key, which is really actually super useful in an interchange. It's a really good key. And just a little, insider, I'm going to be doing a video just like this one on 11 SR coming out next week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss that one. Now, I did watch the old video that I did on 21WS. I posted it July 2020, and fast forward to like 15 months later, there is a significant amount of loot that is missing from 21WS right now. There was so much more 15 months ago. It was insane. And now there's still a good amount. Let's not lie. There's still a good amount, but like, just go watch my old video. It'll be in the comments below, but just go look at the loot I was getting in that video compared to this one. It's day and night, I've got to tell you. And that's not a bad thing, okay? That's not a bad thing. There's less loot in this area. I get why they did it. I get why they did it across the board for so many areas. And to be honest, I like less loot. That's just me personally. But again, I can play this game for hours upon end, so I get why some people want there to be more loot around. But again, we did 15 runs. So the total amount on the flea market, that if we would have gotten out with all 15 runs, sold on the flea market, I would have made 3,194,905 rubles. For the traders, I would have made 1,376,373 rubles. So if we break that down into, 15 runs a piece, on average, we are making 212,993 rubles for the flea market runs, and we were making 91,758,000 to the traders. What's really interesting is we got about 123% more by going through the flea market. I thought that stat was pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and the missus were sitting down and talking about it, and she's way smarter than I am, very smart, and I'm pretty sure that's the number. 132% more than what we would have gotten from the traders. I don't know. Someone's going to check my math, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong. In the end, it's still a great area. I still think it's very much worth it. I thought it was really cool doing this test again, especially, comparing it to my last video. And to be honest, my last video, I was making on average, I can tell you right now, I was only selling to the traders. I wasn't doing this flea market part, but only selling to the traders, my average per run was 165,000 rubles. Wow. So it's 165,000 rubles compared to 91,000 that we're getting now. So almost half, say like around 40% less. Quite a significant amount, but 21WS isn't as much as it was before. And, they always skyrocket up right at the beginning of the wipe, of course, because there's so many attachments you can sell for big money. But I'm still going to say this. The keycard's still worth it. It has so many uses. Not only can you get 14 runs out of it, and, I know interchange sometimes is a camper's paradise, but it's pretty easy to get, to extract away from there, right? Your extracts are pretty close. And then also, even when it has one charge left, you can get the SR11 key. You can craft that. I still think it's really worth your time to go pick this key up. Whether or not you have enough rubles for it, that's another story, but it's still got my approval for sure. Now remember, I am going to be doing this for SR11 Kill a Stash, and actually those results are really interesting. I think like that's going to come out next week, but it'll be good. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you can get notified for when that video comes out. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later.